In New South Wales, rent bidding has been banned since 2022. Key money is void under the Residential Tenancies Act. Yet across Sydney's tightest suburbs, renters are handing over undocumented cash, competing in bidding wars that legally shouldn't exist, and paying just to get an application seen. A shadow market is growing beneath the legal one, and the data behind it reveals how deep it runs. The scale of this competition begins with the numbers. In March 2026, the Domain Rental Report recorded a vacancy rate of just 0.7% in Surrey Hills, 0.8% in Bondi Beach, and 0.9% in Manly. By April 2026, SQM Research reported those same suburbs at 0.9%, 1.1%, and 1.0%. By June, CoreLogic tracked them at 1.0%, 1.2%, and 1.1%. Further west, Parramatta registered 1.2% under Domain, 1.3% under SQM, and 1.2% under CoreLogic. In Blacktown, all three sources recorded exactly 1.5%, while Liverpool sat at 1.4% across the board. These variations stem from differing methodologies. Domain relies on active portal listings. SQM tracks properties advertised online for 3 weeks or more. And CoreLogic incorporates unmarketed rental stock. These varying definitions and denominators mean there is no single, citywide vacancy rate. But across every metric, Sydney sits far below the 3% benchmark used to define a balanced market. In this environment, a vacancy rate measures physically unoccupied housing rather than the actual number of applicants competing for it. Under NSW Fair Trading Guidelines, every rental advertisement must state a single, fixed weekly price. Opaque terms like buy, negotiation, or offers from are strictly prohibited. Yet, in a market where dozens of desperate applicants contest a single property, a process known as rent bidding frequently takes place. To understand how this occurs, consider a common scenario. An apartment is listed online at $650 a week. Following an inspection, an applicant receives a phone call, text, or private message stating that another party has offered $680 and asking if they can match or exceed it. Under the Residential Tenancies Act 2010, this direct solicitation or invitation by an agent or landlord to push the rent higher is illegal. However, the law draws a highly specific distinction. If a prospective tenant, acting entirely of their own accord, decides to offer $680 to secure the property, that offer is voluntary and legally permissible. Landlords are allowed to accept these unsolicited higher bids, meaning that a higher transaction price itself does not prove a breach of the law. This creates a complex evidentiary challenge. While written text messages and emails provide clear paper trails of illegal solicitation, verbal exchanges during phone calls or inspections are far more difficult to prove. For renters, recognizing the difference between a voluntary choice and an unlawful nudge is necessary. If an agent explicitly suggests, pressures, or asks for more money than the advertised fixed price, the line has been crossed. Under Section 23 of the Residential Tenancies Act 2010, any lease term requiring a tenant to pay key money to secure a tenancy is void. Section 94 also prohibits landlords or agents from recovering these extra payments. In New South Wales, any financial transaction outside of the advertised rent and the lawful bond is legally invalid. Despite this absolute prohibition, Tenants Union New South Wales complaint files show a recurring pattern of allegations. Renters report demands for upfront transfers between $200 and $500, often labeled as administration fees, processing charges, or key deposits. These arrangements typically bypass formal oversight. Demanding physical cash or requesting bank transfers with vague descriptions creates significant enforcement obstacles, making it difficult for regulators to prove a breach occurred. For applicants, this creates a severe financial exposure. Refusing to pay the unlisted fee means risking immediate exclusion from the property, while paying it means handing over money with no legal protection and no receipt to present to a tribunal. As tenants look for any edge, a parallel marketplace has emerged online. Third-party application platforms offer what they call application stacking services. The process is simple. An applicant uploads their identity documents, pay slips, and references just once. With a single click, the platform batch submits this digital package to dozens of properties simultaneously. While preparing these documents is free, some platforms offer a paid upgrade. For fees ranging from $50 to $150 per property, applicants can buy priority or fast-track status. When an agent opens their inbox, these paid applications are flagged with priority tags, selling the promise of faster visibility. This creates a distinct class system in the application queue. The Residential Tenancies Amendment Act 2024 banned real estate agents from charging upfront upon application fees, but it did not address third-party commercial platforms. These services operate in a regulatory gray zone, charging renters for speed and prominence. While data security and document storage remain separate concerns, the immediate impact is clear. In a hyper-competitive market, the speed of an application can depend entirely on a tenant's ability to pay. For those searching on the ground, the pressure of this market is documented in redacted records and consented testimonies. One first-hand account from an applicant we will call Renter D details an unresolved allegation of an illegal upfront demand. After applying, Renter D received a request for a $300 payment before the lease would be drafted. When they refused, the landlord withdrew the listing. Fearing future retaliation, the applicant chose not to file a tribunal claim, leaving the status unresolved. Another applicant, Renter B, experienced the heavy emotional and financial toll of repeated applications. Documentary corroboration shows Renter B submitted 12 applications in quick succession. Desperate to secure any home, they paid $120 to use a priority submission service for 5 of those listings. Even with this paid assistance, every single attempt was unsuccessful. These accounts expose the constant uncertainty and fear of challenging the process. When speaking out risks immediate exclusion from the market, applicants frequently absorb these hidden expenses, navigating a system where securing a roof over one's head feels like a costly gamble. In response to these pressures, the New South Wales government is targeting bidding and bond practices with separate structural reforms. For rent bidding, policymakers launched a consultation paper in mid-2026 to close existing loopholes. While current laws prohibit agents from asking for higher offers, self-managed landlords remain exempt, and indirect pressure is difficult to police. The proposed amendments seek to expand the ban to private landlords and cover electronic communications like SMS. To enforce this, a proposed rent bidding enforcement unit within fair trading would investigate off-platform requests backed by penalties of up to $10,000. Yet, industry analysts warn that outlawing solicitation may simply push pressure into disguised fees, preferred lists, or informal key money. The Real Estate Institute of New South Wales maintains that agents merely relay landlord decisions, while the Tenants Union of New South Wales demands fast-tracked tribunal remedies and caps on third-party platforms. Concurrently, the state launched the Smart Rental Bond Scheme in August 2026 to resolve the upfront moving barrier. This portable bond system allows tenants to digitally transfer an existing bond to a new property via MyService NSW for a $25 fee, avoiding the need to raise a second bond before the first is released. Tenants pay the difference if the new rent is higher, while the rental commissioner remains the custodian to settle damage claims. However, landlord participation is voluntary. Whether these measures can rebalance the market remains an open question, as low vacancy rates and paid application services continue to dictate who gets a lease. Today, Sydney's shadow rental market operates in plain sight. When priority access is bought and rules are bypassed, housing stops being a basic right and becomes a premium commodity. Until reforms match the speed of these tactics, the price of a roof will keep rising. Share your thoughts in the comments.